There we go. Hey everybody, hope you guys are all having a fantastic day today. I know Bitcoin just started taking a drop here a little bit ago. But overall we did have that nice little pop that I was talking about, so I was happy about that. I'm going to see if we're going to have another pop later on, but right now Bitcoin and all the other altcoins are following suit at the moment. Excuse me. Got some fresh tea here. Hey Bideford, good afternoon, my man, good evening. Somebody posted a while ago, let's see. Somebody said hello earlier, but I can't see his name because my poll is blocking the way. Oh well. Let's see. Hey Sherry, happy to see you back. Alright, there we are. So, we do see Bitcoin coming down here a little bit. I have an open short that I've had for a little bit of time. I'm going to see when I should start selling that off here eventually. Not for a while probably, but I started shorting from the Federal Reserve meeting today. We'll talk about that in a little bit, the Federal Reserve meeting, but I was really ticked off about how the Federal Reserve rates, how it was affecting the SPY and S&P 500 and Bitcoin in the same exact way. It really ticked me off. I hate that Bitcoin's attached to the stock market now. Hey, I'm happy to see you, my man. I did survive. Remember, all I have is put, so I'm looking okay right now for most of my plays. You guys know I sold the majority of my stuff off, and as far as the options market is concerned, and I just have a few YOLO plays. I YOLO'd puts on Tesla today. I don't know if they're going to really make me money tomorrow. I'll have to see how far Tesla goes down or up. I have to look to see what the earnings report on that was for. So I did one call YOLO and then two put YOLOs. So I'll be watching those pretty closely. Let me see. That'd be fine. So actually, let me go over here very fast. What did Tesla end up going to after hours? Did it end up making a little bit of a rebound? 5-minute extended hours. Yeah, so it ended up coming back up here a little bit. So good thing I paid like $30 for the YOLO, so it wasn't that much. But let's see, not a strong move here. A little bit, yeah, not too bad. What I'm banking on over the next few days here for Tesla is it breaking down like a whole bunch of other coins, other stocks are, and that's mostly because after all the earnings, there's usually volatility one way or the other. If it goes up by a lot, I'll still make money off of it. If it goes down a lot, I'll make money. Basically, the only way I don't make money off of this play is if Tesla goes sideways, or it doesn't have a move back down here or a move up here. If it kind of stays in this realm, I'll lose money off of it. But that's why it's a YOLO play, because it was a little bit more risky. Excuse me. Taking a little bit of a breather here as far as the Bitcoin price is concerned. Turn on my volume just a little bit here. There we go. Hey, Bobby, happy to see you back, my man. And hey, Wonder, how are you doing? Do you really think Bitcoin is going to 20K? It's a possibility here. Before I talk about that, that'll be the first thing I talk about after I make this announcement. The announcement kind of carries on from yesterday. I was kind of talking to myself about what I should do with the channel here. Oh, let me take another sip of tea before I get going into this. Oh, that's hot. Okay, so you guys know that YouTube only allows me to notify you guys for 3 videos within a 24-hour period. And usually within those 24 hours, I have 2 streams, maybe a tutorial if I have time, or a Bitcoin update, an Ethereum update, something like that, okay? Now, what's been happening is I've been posting more videos than I have notifications for. And so one of the things I've been realizing that's happening is when I go live, not everybody is getting the notification saying, hey, Michael, you're live, right? And because of that, I've determined I have a second channel here that I made a while back that I just kind of was testing out some theories about stocks and stuff like that. I'm going to move all of my tutorials over to that second channel, right? And then any new tutorials I post in the future will be on that channel. This channel right now, I changed the name to Breakout City. The new channel, the other channel name is going to be Breakout City Tutorial. So if you look for it, you'll find it. You can just subscribe to that one. So that's just a little, that's what I'm going to be doing. This channel that you guys are currently watching me on now, this will be for daily streams, important events, stuff like that. So daily streams, and on top of that, it'll be any type of breakout plays that I see. So breakouts and streams. That's going to be the only thing I show you guys, all right? on this channel. The other channel will go over like FinViz tutorials, Thinkorswim tutorials, BitGet tutorials, all the Robinhood tutorials, Webull tutorials, all of them, okay? I'll go over all of those tutorials on the other channel, and if there's anything else I need to have on the other channel, I'll post it there, and I won't have any problems with it. But so I'm going to have split everything apart here just because I know a lot of you guys, especially the members, have questions for me, and you guys sometimes don't get notified because of how many videos I put out. So what I'm doing to fix that is to just kind of spread them out a little bit, if you will, because the tutorials you can watch anytime, but it's not really, it's not really breaking news type of stuff. But if Bitcoin's crashing down and you guys want to know what's going on, of course you guys want to know if I'm going live or not. So that's one thing here. Let's see here. Hey, everyone, it's Bates. How you doing? Oh, yeah, oh, there. So, okay, moving on. Hey, Alan, I'm happy to see you back, man. And hey, Monica, too. So, as far as one of the reasons that I think Bitcoin, I'm not saying it is, it's one of the areas that can go back down to. We'll look at it from here. I'm going to go over here to Bitcoin, and I'm going to go to the... Yeah, there we go. Okay. So if we look over here on the Bitcoin chart, let me just kind of show you some of these previous news. Let me get out a log. There we go. All right. You see, usually after we hit some nice, nice bull runs, we usually do have a pretty sizable knockdown. I don't think it'll be too crazy here since we do have a lot more institutional money involved in crypto at the moment. I mean, for heaven's sakes, now there's retirement accounts built around crypto. Excuse me. Almost done with this cough. But here, let me go to the weekly chart here. All right. So a few things here. Before we even think about the possibility that Bitcoin goes back down to $20,000, first we have to break the neckline of this double top here. Top one, top two, and then it's a bullish reversal pattern. Normally, if it confirms, it will break down below this neckline here, which was the last summer lows of about $28,800. That's this number exactly. I don't have it exactly there, but that's the exact number. 28,800. There we go. All right. So 28,800. If we break down below that one, I mean, really, where is our next level of support? The next level of support right now is at about $19,985. So pretty much $20,000. That's our next level of support. Now, we might not come back exactly down to that level because we do have a level of support here as far as the 200 moving average. And if I were to put a Fibonacci chart on from the low to the high over here, you will see, there we go. Oh, I messed it up a little bit here, but there we go. You'll see that we have a Fibonacci, oh, you can barely see it here. Well, you can see there's a Fibonacci level right here along the neckline. It's about a couple $100 below, or it's less than $100 below our support. So we do have a Fibonacci. Yeah, I'll move it here. See, we have a Fibonacci level right here. I'll move it back to where it was, but so we do have a Fibonacci level as well as just a regular neckline there for a good amount of support. But again, if we do break down below that, if we break down below a major level of support, it's going to take a lot of force for that to happen. So we should come down pretty hard. And then let me get out of the Fibonacci here, and then we'll start talking about more day-to-day stuff going forward for a lot of altcoins. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. All right. So over the last few times we've had some major runs, right? This run was a large one here. This is one of the initial ones. This run, let's just say it started around here. That was a 9,000% run. After that large run up, Bitcoin came back down about 85%, right? Then we had another major run where Bitcoin went up 300%, came back down to 72% down. And now we've had this nice major run up here where Bitcoin's ran up about 600%. We've fallen down currently about 50%. 60% gets you kind of close to the neckline. 70% kind of gets you to that ballpark of the 200 moving average. So there's a lot of reasons why this would be a good place to start putting some limit orders. You don't have to do the limit orders anywhere, not even close to now, because Bitcoin does have other patterns that it's looking at right now. Not many, but it does have some. Like here, if you want to look at the weekly chart, put the magnets back on. We do have an ascending triangle or a rising wedge, one of the two. And this one will go from here to here. Pop that. Let me just move this back to just a white line. Thick line. So if you wanted to have hope that somehow this Bitcoin rally could survive and we can kind of keep on going, there's enough institutional money in there, we might not get liquidated again to the same degree we were before, then maybe we could hold on to this wedge, so to speak, right? If we can hold on to that, maybe we have an opportunity to get out here. Just move around a little, maybe pop up later on, right? What I'd be hoping for in this situation is not even really caring about this too much right there, but really hoping that we can just consolidate here, maybe get close, not tap, and then maybe come back up. And then another factor here on the more bearish side before we get back over to today's crypto market is you do see we're close to having a death cross here on the weekly chart where the 20 weekly moving average will cross down below the 50 weekly moving average. And what's do we have any historical context there? What what have we seen to say, hey, what happens when the 20 weekly moving average crosses down below the 50? Well, let's go back here a little bit. The first time in recent history we can see a golden cross led to a huge, massive move, which is pretty nice. But the last time the 20 crossed down below the 50, I mean, it only took a day, and we took I don't even know how big of a dip that was. We came down like 60%, right? Now, I'm not saying we're going to fall 60% after a death cross here, but just take note, it happened there. Another time it happened was right here. And then after that, we had a move about 61% down. So, usually not the best. And then you see right here on the golden cross, we had a short jump, but it didn't even go all the way up as much as we would have liked to. So, so it's going to be a little bit of a mixed bag here, but I'm not saying hey, sell all of your coins because Bitcoin's heading back to 20,000. But I'm saying 20,000 is now a realistic possibility where we might go over the next few weeks or next couple of months. All right. So if we if somehow in the spring we're at $20,000 for crypto and stuff like that, just know it was a possibility. I guess you could say. Don't be surprised. That's a better way to say it. But if we do manage to find our way down here, I'm going to start buying up a bunch of altcoins. The Bitcoin going up and down, it doesn't really affect me that much. I care more about the altcoins. You guys remember, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, a lot of you guys were asking me, we were talking about what happens as Bitcoin continues to break down here. I was like, you were asking, hey, Michael, what coins do you find that are overvalued that would be good to start shorting right now because to get a better return on my profit, or they're just safer short plays? And I gave you three, and these are coins that have decent market caps, but what hasn't happened yet is they haven't really broken down out of their uptrends yet because they've been rallying so much over the past few months. Even though Bitcoin's been falling, certain coins have been definitely continuing on. And if we take a look at those right now, let me see if I can find them. The first one I gave you was FTM here. And you're seeing FTM is coming down. It's actually down 4%. 5% now. And you see from yesterday, you had a good opportunity hit right there on the 20-day moving average there. So now FTM, you could expect to continue falling down here. A nice breakout. Most of you guys would have probably already seen that though right here. It already broke down a while ago. Up here is just a fake it. We've seen this happen a lot. Breaks down, comes back up, then continues to fall down. Another one we talked about was Link. No, Link wasn't it. One was Luna. What was the other one besides FTM? Was it Sol? Oh, no, I think Sol already fell down. I'll have to remember the other one. The other, yeah, here's Luna. See how high it's been? There we go. These technicals aren't correct on mine, so let me see if I can... Or these are just older technicals. Luna. There we go. And you can see relative Luna is still a lot higher than a bunch of other coins. So look at this chart. This is back in July of last year. This was altcoin season. Keep that in mind. All right. Let's look at something like a ADA. See what ADA's been doing? Altcoin season around here. July lows. July lows. See how much higher it's gone up since then? It has a lot more to come down. All right. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Let me get back over here to Bitcoin though. So just be aware of it, guys. I'm not saying all is lost or anything like that. I'm just saying get prepared in case we need to come down more. It's better for like a strategy of protecting your cash, pretty much. My washing machine is on and I can hear the tick 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 on it. Let's see. Hey Sherry, how do you do a YOLO? So there's plenty of different ways to do a YOLO. A YOLO play means it's pretty much like going to the casino. You don't care if you lose the money. It's a very, very, very high risk, almost so it's the point of being insane, right? But there's logic behind the YOLO. If you remember the GameStop craziness that we saw last year or a couple years ago, that was a YOLO. That was a YOLO play by the Roaring Kitty guy. But besides that, he actually had a lot of facts behind it. But it wasn't really like, he had to sit on that for a long time until people actually picked up on it. If we didn't have social media, I don't think GameStop would have actually exploded like that. What was going on here? Let's see. Oh, but yeah, so as far as YOLOs are concerned, it's a very high risk play that you have to have some reason for buying into it. So what we talked about, I think it was like 6 days ago now, I think. I told you guys, the last YOLO play I told you guys about was a SPY, I think it was. That's fine. I told you guys to buy puts on this day, 18th of January, just a little bit ago. And my reasoning was there was a lot of ratcheting up about war talk. Inflation was still getting pretty bad. The market was nervous about the tamping down of buying, securities, and over the market's just kind of overpriced. There's a few factors. The big one I think was war though. And I told you guys buy some YOLO puts. I said buy 400 strike price puts, and mine expired the 11th of February. Some people bought some that expired earlier. Some people bought some that expired later. Some people bought some at 425 strike price. Some people bought it at 350 strike price. There was a whole bunch of people that kind of varied off from my YOLO play, which is perfectly fine. But then what happened over the preceding days? We ended up coming down quite a bit. So when I sold my puts down here, and of course I didn't put a lot of money into them because they were YOLOs. I don't want to lose a lot of money. But when they ended up coming back down to this level, I think it was like around 425 or so, I ended up making like 700% profit on it on those trades. Secret Fish I think sold here, and he got a profit of about 314%, 330% or something like that. So he was making bank off of those. And you also have Wojak, I think, made a couple 100% on his plays. Was it Wojak? But yeah, so those are the YOLO plays. But not every YOLO play works out. If let's say we kind of went stagnant here and we kind of came back up just a little bit, if that was the case, we might have come back to that $100 or so I put in there, it would have been lost, right? So you got to be careful with YOLOs. But I do YOLOs just for fun. And I try to gauge my knowledge of the market to make some really fun plays. Ooh, excuse me. But those were options. Those weren't crypto plays. Those were all options. And it's not talking about options here. I want to show you something hilarious today, which I didn't find it hilarious, but I thought it was interesting. It actually annoyed me more than anything. But here, let's go to Bitcoin on the 5, and here's S&P on the 5. So let me go back over here. So both of this is when the Federal Reserve had their meeting, they had their announcement about no rate hikes right now. They're going to be talking more about it in March, all that good stuff, right? And what you saw right here was initial spike, and look at that initial spike, and then boom, it came up a little bit more on SPY, then it came back down. Bitcoin went up a little bit longer. It took a little bit longer to come back up, but look at that. Afterwards, they both just started coming down. So that both the crypto markets and the stock markets did not like what they heard from the Federal Reserve today, which really irks me. I'm okay with the SPY, SPY doing that, coming back down, or doing whatever it wants to do off the Federal Reserve. But it did annoy me to see that Bitcoin has become so, it's not as separated from the stock market as it used to be. Now Bitcoin really starts to move pretty well with some of the financial decisions that the Federal Reserve does make. It's very interesting. You know, you haven't really seen that too much over the past few years. There we go. Up for a little bit of a pop there. Let's see. Sorry about that. What's going on right here? Sorry, hey McDonald's. Oh my gosh. Uh, let's see. Hey Jay Perez, what do you think about the new BitTorrent? Worth investing in for the long term? Uh, I certainly think it's worth investing in the long term, but I'm not sure how much money I want to put behind it. I really want to see how the market's reacting to it. So right now, I sold off some of my BitTorrent a while ago. I really haven't bought more since then. I still have like $4,000 worth of BitTorrent, so it's still a considerable amount. Um, but I want to see how all of this new supply really helps, like, you know, deals with the market. I'm not going to buy any more BitTorrent until I see if Bitcoin really tests out that $28,800 neckline. I would probably say the best thing you can do is also just kind of hold off on buying it for now. If you wanted to buy into it, I would wait to see if we hold the neckline or if we end up breaking down below and start heading back down to $25,000 or even $20,000. Then that'll be a perfect opportunity to buy some BitTorrent for you. But I think it's a good long-term hold. I'm just not as bullish as I once was because of the how they increase the supply so much. The demand's not really going to change in fact, because, you know, the market's going down, of course, demand is going down. But it'll come back up though. But you know what I mean. I don't like how they increase the supply right then and there. So here, hey Tony, do you see 21K for us soon? I don't know about soon, but yeah, it's reasonable to assume that Bitcoin can come back down to 20,000 over the next few weeks. Hey Sherry, Soul dead? It's not dead. You know, it'll come back up to these prices eventually. But what's happening with Soul, Luna, and another coin I was talking to you guys about a while ago. I don't remember exactly the one I was talking about, but they're just overvalued. They've been pumping and pumping, even though Bitcoin's been coming down. So now they're catching up to where they should be if they would have just been following Bitcoin the entire time. And so they're going to have much larger losses than the other types of coins. So you got to be prepared for that one. Hmm. Hey, Alma, what are my thoughts on the triple Q? Let me see if I can pull it up here. Uh, I mean, we have more room to come down here. Everything right now we're seeing is in one form of a death cross or another. So maybe I know this isn't just like a stock necessarily, but I would really think that the triple Q can come all the way back down here to maybe 320 at least, maybe even down to 300 or so. We'll see how aggressive that market wants to take that downturn here. But if we just look at here, let me pull up my other watch list here. If we just take a peek here at the Dow, we've held support so far. We got rejected by the 200 moving average on both the Dow and the SPY here. NASDAQ, I think, was a little bit easier over time. Yeah, NASDAQ didn't even have a chance to get up there. But what do we have? We had a death cross a few days ago on the NASDAQ. Dow Jones, we're about to have a death cross. And the SPY, we just had a death cross here. So I would assume we're going to continue coming down here unless we have a major pop in the next week and a half maybe. What's going to end up happening is you're going to see both the 20 and the 50 moving averages come down below the 200 moving average, causing another death cross. And the death cross where the 50 is crossing below the 200 is a lot more impactful than just the 20 crossing down below the 50 or anything like that. So after these large major runs, right, usually when we see something like this happen, I mean, we had a death cross there, but that was because of I don't even know what happened here. It was one of those full flash crashes. I like to use the 2008 one because it's the most organic. 2008. There we go. All right. So you see how everything was kind of doing okay. We had a nice rally for a while. I mean, things were looking pretty darn good, right? Pretty darn good. It's all started with the double bottom. But up here, we started to kind of, just slow down a little bit here. things weren't looking so good. We had a little bit of volatility. Who cares? Coming down here a little bit. But then all of a sudden, death cross, then followed by the main death cross with a 50 cross down below 200. And then we started the cycle of doom here with the financial crisis and everything like that. Now, after all these crazy times we've had, now we've started to slow down here a little bit again. And now, we're looking to break down below a previous level of support we have down here at about 425. If that happens, we're going to come back down here to the 400. And then from there, that's really going to be where if the bulls really want to stay in control of this market, they're going to have to hold that level. Because if they don't, let me show you the weekly here. Look at this historically. If we're due for a little bit of a move, even if it's a small move like that or that, if we're due for a move, it's going to be a pretty sizable correction here. This last correction that we had, even though it was short before COVID, that was a 20%. This one was a 15%. This one was a 21%. So those are some examples. So far here, we're at like 8%, 9%. 15% is down here at that support level. 20% is closer to up here around 380 or so. Maybe by then it'll come into contact with the 200 moving average or so. This is again on the weekly chart. But we haven't had a move like this in a while. We had a death cross here, but that was mostly because of COVID, so it wasn't as organic. Again, this is the weekly chart here. And it looks like for the most part, death crosses here are mostly lagging indicators in the weekly chart, not lagging, okay. Lagging. So yeah, if we make a strong move down, it'll happen before the 20 crosses down below the 50. The NASDAQ very fast. And the NASDAQ is close to breaking down below support here as well. My guess is if we have a bad day tomorrow, you'll see all three break down below those necklines that they have, or the support levels. NASDAQ will break down below this blue line. Dow Jones will break down below this uptrend here. And the SPY will fall down below this 426.36 level. All right. When that happens, yay, we might have some bad times. Maybe the S&P 500 could give us a nasty shoulder, head and shoulders or something like that. Somebody is really trying to push us down here. Let's see. There we are. Let's see. But as far as triple Q, I think it has more room to come down. I guess that's a better way to say it. Hey, 420 Oh, don't worry. Nobody was knocking on the door. It was my dryer, my washer machine, one of the two. I think it was just spinning and it do against the wall. Don't worry. I've been through this rodeo before. I used to think it was somebody knocking on the door too. Hey Neil, Mike Doge is on a downtrend. What do you recommend? I mean, as far as what I'm doing right now, if you guys want to follow me, I'm literally just doing a couple day trades here and there. But what I'm mostly doing is just sitting on my hands and just watching the markets kind of play themselves out. Maybe entering a short every now and again. But I'm not really buying much here. I'm only buying little small positions every now and again. I'm buying some options here and there. Most of my time has been dedicated to the stock market over the past week because crypto has just been looking so nasty. And you can definitely see crypto coming down more if it, at least back down to $30,000 or so. So until we get closer to those levels of support, I'm not going to really do much to hurt my portfolio. If you guys want to do something during this time, just because I'm sitting on my hands, and part of the reason is I'm also taking care of my mom here since she's back from the hospital and she's at my house. One of the things I can tell you guys that you guys might like to do is I need to find a way to get more comfortable sitting in this chair. One of the things that you guys can do is, so you guys know I like BitGet, those other exchanges out there, whatever you guys like. Find a paper trading, find find an exchange that allows you guys to do paper trading and practice. Use this opportunity to practice paper trading, practice buying breakouts, practice doing any type of day trading strategy you want to. You see a pattern, you want to try to play it, practice it. I'd recommend doing it mostly on Bitcoin because Bitcoin kind of guides everything else, but you guys can do it on any coin you guys want to. But I highly recommend you guys practice day trading and practice using leverage. It'll give you a head start, so use this bear market that we're in to practice. That way, when the bull market starts, you are raring to go and making a lot more money. And I wouldn't if you guys don't know how to day trade pretty well to make a decent profit. I wouldn't. I would use this opportunity to practice. I really would. You could definitely try to buy some stuff up right now. You could try to short some stuff right now. But you're not going to be looking at massive profits until Bitcoin starts gaining some volatility. But if you guys have like a 5x or a 1x or a 2x or 3x, whatever, short on Bitcoin right now or even a long, there's not really much more you can do besides that. I have a 50x short on Bitcoin that I have. I'll probably sell that here pretty soon. But I bought that. I opened that position right after the Federal Reserve announcement, so it's due for a profit here. I was waiting to see what would happen over the last few minutes, but you see how we're slowing down this movement here. We might continue to come back down, but we still didn't hit that 20-day moving average, and I really wanted Bitcoin to hit that. So I'll probably close that short position out in a while and see where it goes from here. Let me see what Bitcoin's doing on these other charts though. So on the 15. Oh, the 15 looks a little wonky. See, I want more confidence in Bitcoin. I mean, it looks like it still wants to come downhill a bit more, but maybe Death Cross on the 15 can help. 30-minute. Death Cross, 45. Death Cross incoming. Maybe a short-term rebound, though, for this half an hour. Yeah, 40 minutes. 1 hour. If you look at the 1 hour, see we're at the support level right here. So maybe I want to scale out or sell it. If we end up popping back up over time, I can re-enter that position. Otherwise, yeah. 1 hour, what's the 4 hour look like? 4 hour, we got stopped at the 50. You can see right there, coming back down below 20. I'll leave it in for a little bit longer. I think I'll be fine. Hey, Bideford, the Dow futures are down 407. Oh, let me check this out here. Turn this some tea. Oh, Jesus. See, I've talked about those support levels. Yep. Oh, wowza. Okay, let me go over here to see if there's any news. Tesla beats on earnings and revenue, says supply chain issues were main limiting factor. That makes sense. Well, it looks like my Tesla puts are going to do very well tomorrow. Let me do something very fast. I'm just going to use Robinhood because I don't want to change everything up in TradingView. I bought a stock for you guys a long time ago, and I've just been watching it. It's like, the reason I bought it is to say, hey, this is why you don't buy and hold penny stocks. This is why you don't buy and hold penny stocks. So if I hit all, I guess, okay, for the year, I made like $341 off of Robinhood. Yeah, you can see there. So I made profit off of it. That's because I was doing some YOLO plays. But as soon as I bought that fun thing, this is back in October. You see how all it did was go down? What's the coin I own? Yeah, fun. Yeah. Funware. 1 year. This is why I told you guys don't ever buy on a pump. See how it just kind of comes down. Now, it may come back down later on, but I was just trying to show you guys will become bag holders if you do it. Oh, see, total return 81% down. I'm still going to hold it, though. I want to see if I ever make a profit off of this. I could. I don't think I will, but I could. Let me see. Tesla. It's down $7 after hours. I know that. So in the morning, you should see Tesla come down here a little bit more. So I forgot. After hours, yeah, after hours is closed right now. Yowza. That is just a bloodbath for tomorrow. At least oil's coming back down. You guys didn't know this, but oil's having a rough time of it. Oil's having great price increases. We're not having some great price increases. That's a better way to say that. So if you go over here to watch list and we just look up oil, we can look up U.S. oil. I don't really care for the Brent. Let me go to the weekly. Okay, COVID really messed up the chart here, and it will always have it messed up for eternity, which really sucks. But we haven't been this high since 2014. So gas prices are going to get worse. So this doesn't really have much to do with the markets. But, I mean, get prepared for your gas prices to get worse. If you want to apply that to the markets, if your gas is more expensive, that means you have less money to go do some fun stuff. So you may see the economy start to slow down a little bit as more money goes towards gas and less towards small businesses, large corporations, a Tesla, whatever. High gas prices are probably not the best thing for a lot of particular companies out there, especially those that sell you goods. But yeah, I mean, guys, we haven't been this high in a long time. Now, gas rose up a lot during the 2008 financial crisis. That was crisis. But, COVID dropped the price down here. But, guys, I'm not going to say anything like we need something in particular to fix this because I'm not an expert on oil. Never will be. Never aspire to be. But the government in general, or the system, it needs to figure out a way to fix this out because gas prices are only going to go up from here if this continues. And we haven't even reached the point where Ukraine has gotten invaded by Russia yet. Apparently, what I read in online, and I'm not sure if it's not as true, but that President Xi of China called Vladimir Putin of Russia to say, hey, we're okay with you invading Ukraine, but could you just wait until after the Olympics for us, just so we don't have any national disaster type thing? It's like some type of big thing overshadowing the Olympics. And I guess over the last few invasions that Russia's had, it's always been after the Olympics as well. So, this market downturn, not so much in the crypto realm, but in the stock world, regular financial institutions and markets, this could be a little bit prolonged unless the world kind of gets back on track, so to speak. So, if you guys want to fill up your gas tank today, I'd recommend it instead of tomorrow. Back over here. How are these plays doing actually? PM. Day. I'm still waiting for PM to break down Philip Morrison before I buy puts on it. LHX says it would it do? Still doing fine. Apple. This is just something we look at all the time. Still hasn't broken down yet. Microsoft. Still hasn't broken down yet. Netflix. I want to buy Netflix. I want it to come off a cliff, but I'm just not entirely sure if it's like I missed out on that huge run. I would only buy a YOLO, and that Netflix YOLO would literally be like a $300 put on Netflix. I'm thinking of doing that. I really am. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe at market open if it's really down, or if it's up a little bit. But the entire market is definitely not in the healthiest of shape here. Yeah, we are consolidating at these levels, you can tell. We'll wait for the 20 to come down. So here. All right, let's see. Hey, but for Dow Fortress down 407. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, Deborah, 20,000 the absolute bottom. I mean, most likely. I mean, I can't really envision crypto coming down. I can't really envision crypto coming down below that. It's possible, but I mean, that would just be that'd be a shit show, so to speak. Oh, and hey, Joe Little, thank you very much for the super chat, man. Let me answer your question. What is a voluntary corporate action? I have 25 shares of Boeing and got an email saying I need to have 100 or my 25 shares will be sold in a month. Oops. Voluntary corporate action. To have 100 or my 25 shares will be sold in a month. I have not heard of that before, especially for Boeing. Wasn't Boeing coming down pretty hard today, though? Let me see. Let me Google it, and then I'll be able to interpret the answer, because I think that's the best I can do for you. Voluntary corporate action. From what I'm reading, it sounds like a way to get new traders off of their stock. News. I'm just looking for anything specific to Boeing news about it. Okay. Back to all. Let me pull this up for you here. Pull it from Fidelity. Now, this seems pretty accurate, but what I'm trying to understand is why they'd be selling your shares after a corporate action. Because normally, it's just like you're voting on an actual you're voting on something. So usually a voluntary event involves an offer extended to you from a company you own shares in, Boeing in your case. Most commonly, offers ranging from buying or selling shares at a specific price to exchanging something you own for something new, right? Comment here. No. So it said, let me read your again. You need to have 100 or my 25 shares will be sold in a month. I've never heard of that, Joe. I've never heard of them saying you're gonna they're gonna sell your shares because you don't have 100. Do you use Robinhood or maybe one of the apps? That might be something that's been coming there, but I've never heard of that before. What I'd recommend doing is literally just sell your Boeing and put that money somewhere else instead of having to deal with that. I don't think you should be forced to do that, but like, if you have like an app like Robinhood or Webull or something like that, maybe try moving those. I mean, just sell them, but I would try moving over to TD Ameritrade or something like that because I've never heard of that happening as far as Boeing is concerned. But I couldn't find any news on it as well. I'll look for news tomorrow. So if you remind me to, if you're back tomorrow, I will make sure that I have an answer for you then as far as Boeing's concerned if I can find one. But I will take some time to look at it because I've never heard of them saying, hey, you don't have enough shares, you have to sell them or buy enough shares. Let's see. Hey, thanks, Ghost. I appreciate it. And I'm going to the store tomorrow for you, Ghost. I'm gonna buy you like 5 packs of tea. 5 packs of tea. So I hope you enjoy those when you get them. I'll message you on Discord about it though. If things consolidate, markets are getting ready for a drop. Oh, most likely, but we don't know exactly when that's going to be. Remember, it can definitely consolidate for a couple more days here before making a drop. Right now, what started this whole movement down today was the fact that the Federal Reserve said that told their a plan for the forecast for the year, so to speak, and they're going to have a few rate hikes. I think they said 3, maybe 4. But both the stock market and the crypto markets did not like that news, and that here we are now. So we have an opportunity to bounce back up later on today to try to hit that 20-day moving average. But for now, I'm just kind of sitting on my hands. Let's see. Let's see. Auction, just confused. Voluntary corporate auction. Hold on a second. So voluntary corporate option. I just saw your message and I just lost it. Oh, auction. Okay, here we go. Yeah, because I've never heard of that. So let me look it up again here. That's a lot different than action. All right. No, there's nothing on here. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Maybe contact Robinhood's the support. I'm not entirely sure. Fidelity. Yeah, really. Fidelity. I've never heard of that happening before. I have more than 25 Boeing. I have more than 100 Boeing shares on my TD Ameritrade account, so I don't. I probably wouldn't get that message, but I am confused just like you are. And hey, Hota, happy to see you back, my man. Are we looking at Bitcoin? Are we going down more this week? Most likely, but we might have one more little pump up before that happens. But here, let's pull up Bitcoin very fast. Let's go to the 4-hour. The first trend line right here that we have to worry about is this red line right here. We're still pretty far away from it. We haven't gone slapped down just yet. We can always just come back down here a little bit, create like a stairs, higher low, so to speak. Try to make our way over here before a short slam us back down. Shorts want a good entry point too. So, I mean, we could always just have a straight rocket down here, but I don't think you don't have any as many whales over leveraged at this point. So any short attempt, the price would definitely come down, but it would only be because shorts are selling shares. It wouldn't be because the longs are getting liquidated and they're being forced to sell the shares, and the cycle of death continues right there. It would only be because of the shorts bringing down the market. And normally shorts want to take advantage of over leveraged whales. It's just more money. It's better. See. Hey Hota, what's it here? Oh, hey, bye for the balance sheet. Yeah, that was definitely part of it there because I know that was the secondary part. I don't think they said. I think they said they're going to start doing the balance sheet stuff in the spring, but that usually takes some time, so they might not start tapering down stuff until the summer. And so you could always say the market is just pricing that in right now. So it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, we may hit a stock bear market that might last for a while here, unless earnings get back up. Remember, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now about what's going on with everything. I'm looking for ways to stay optimistic, but the world is kind of in a really crappy place right now, don't you think? Possible war between Russia and Ukraine, where that has a small but a possibility of drawing the United States into the conflict, aka World War III happening. We also have oil prices coming up pretty high. We have the Federal Reserve that doesn't really care too much about inflation, or the Federal Reserve cares about inflation, but they're handling it very poorly. And I think part of that is because they don't want to screw things up, which is fine. But while they're taking their sweet time doing everything, what's happening? You're seeing that inflation is getting worse. People have less buying power, and if people have less buying power, what are they going to do? They're going to be spending less. And if they're spending less, that means companies have less revenue to pay their employees or spend on development or do other stuff they normally like to do. And then the progress starts to slow down. When progress starts to slow down, innovation starts to slow down. When innovation starts to slow down, there's just less. There's less. What do you want to call it? Investment. When there's less investment, it's a cycle. It's like a little paradox thing, but working its way out. So the world's just not in a good spot. So what we have to do now is just kind of wait this bad boy out, and that's what I'm doing personally. I'm doing day trades, as I told you guys. I'm shorting, and I'm fine with that for now. But I don't like this market. And what I'm doing is I'm basically waiting on certain actions. I'm moving back over towards options a little bit more, and I'm buying some puts in SPY. I bought some SPY puts today off that hook. If you guys have been watching the stream over the last few days, we talked about there should be a short-term pop, and when it pops, you can hit it, so to speak. You can. I think I was using the definition of hook fish on. As soon as it pops, fish on, and then you ride it back down. I use that. I think I used that phrase with NVIDIA, but I think NVIDIA did have a pop. Did NVIDIA have a pop? Yeah, see, it popped up towards resistance. You hit it. I should have followed my own advice here. You hit it, and then you come back down. So if I would have hit it like I wanted to, I would have hit it right there at the at resistance. I'd be up 5% on a regular short, but I'd be up a whole bunch more if I actually had some options on it. Dumb me, I was working too much today, but I mean, there you go. And part of the reason for that here, guys, before we go back over to crypto, is if you just go over to the SPY, remember what we're going to run up against, the 200 daily moving average here. And I'm pretty sure the NASDAQ had something, so no, that wasn't the NASDAQ, it must have been the Dow. I hate that I always forget that DGIA. And that 200 moving average here as well. So that was our level of resistance. But the Dow, I mean, if all of these, if the futures stay anywhere near where they are now, like Dow's down 300, S&P's down 50, NASDAQ's down 210, if that does happen, we're going to see a breakdown. And this is breakdown number 2. This was the first breakdown. Okay? So this was a rising wedge. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. Desktop, YouTube files, patterns. Falling wedge, no. Rising wedge, rising. You can kind of see the similarity there, kind of. So we should be due for another drop here. So I think, again, let tomorrow confirm that the drop is actually occurring. But as long as we don't have anything really crazy happen in the stock market, if you guys kind of put some money behind puts, of course you want to be buying something that's breaking down. But if you put your money behind some puts, you should be able to make some easy money there. I'll probably make a video about it tomorrow or something similar to it. But I'm going to have to verify that the actual breakdown is actually occurring here. So, back over here. No worries, Joe. I mean, you couldn't even find much information on the action or auction. If Bitcoin falls to 32K, I'm debating on buying 10 to 20 Link. Any thoughts? Maybe buy 10 if it hits 32, and then maybe another 10 if it does fall down below that $28,800 level. That would be the best way to go forward with that one. But I mean, I think it's fine. I like Link as actual play though for the long term. Let's see. Hey, Ghost. Yeah, that's exactly what I saw right there. It's just weird because they're saying if he doesn't have 100 shares of Boeing, they're gonna force him to sell his shares. I have never seen that as part of a corporate action. I've never seen that part as part of a corporate action. Maybe because I usually buy in bulk and I don't really have too many like small amounts. But yeah, I have never heard of them saying, "Hey, if you don't own 100 shares of our stock, they're going to be sold in a month's time." It's very, very weird, very, very weird. Hey Neil, is Doge breaking out? I would assume not. What's going on right here? No, it broke out once. There was a buying opportunity. You could have made your money if you bought the breakout over here. You could have made about 27%. I mean, that's a nice breakout. Let me over here to the magnet. Now, if Bitcoin wants to, Dogecoin wants to break out, it has to do this. Add this falling wedge here, right? It's gonna have to break out of that. Maybe in a short-term move here, if you wanted to buy Doge, again, you got to watch Bitcoin too. That's something you're looking at. But I usually don't buy stuff that's that aggressive on the way down. Yeah, I wouldn't be buying anything right now. But no, Doge is not breaking out. No. Oh, I did something weird here. What did I do? Yeah, this is all out of order now. Oops. Oh, well, it's not a big deal. Hey George, it's a oscillator, but I pay for it, so it's a paid oscillator by, I think the link is down below, like Vital Algo. You'll see it down in the description if you want to use it. You don't have to use it though. I just use it every now and again. If you want to, I would actually open up YouTube or Investopedia, and I would start doing some research on oscillators, and I would set up your own on TradingView. I think you would actually enjoy it quite a bit. You know, oscillators have their own technical analysis behind them, which is kind of cool. You can actually draw lines on the oscillators themselves. Same with like MACDs and stuff like that. I would encourage you to look at the MACD as well. Let's see. Hey, Classy, is the BitTorrent split 1/1000? Is this bad now? It's not necessarily bad, but it's not good, right? So I still have my BitTorrent. I don't hold as much as I did before. I'm waiting to see how the market reacts to it. I don't like the more supply though, so it's not a good thing here, right? It hasn't proven to be bad because I haven't seen a crazy drop in it like everything else, or more than everything else, excuse me. But so far, it hasn't proven to be a liability just yet. It could be in the future, but not now. Let's see. Hey, Income from Apps. Hope you have a good day, my man. Or I hope you're having a good day. Ethereum getting a death cross on the daily. Hey, exactly. That's another sign that Bitcoin may come down here even more. Remember, a lot of times these indicators, they don't always foreshadow, but usually bad stuff follows the cross. So if we go over here and we're talking about it, I don't know, we can talk about Bitcoin here, I guess. That was not what I was trying to do. Okay, so you go over here to the Bitcoin death cross. Remember, the death cross happened over here. And on that day, nothing really happened. We ended up coming actually up after this death cross, and then we started coming down a few days later. So the same thing can happen with Ethereum. We might not necessarily crash right away or come down right away, but we may do some fun stuff, and then we may end up moving on. And then in hindsight, you're like, oh, there was a death cross right there. Oh, there was a death cross right there. Oh, there was a death cross right here, right? Oh, I should have seen it coming. But, you know, after a death cross, sometimes there's just a little bit of hope that happens. Like, hey, we're going sideways. Oh, we have a chance of breaking out over the 20. Oh, all of a sudden, slam, right? So, there's that. And then let's go over here to Ethereum very fast. Oh, I'm definitely going to reorganize this later on. And there's that death cross you're talking about today, right? So, oh, this wants to come down, though. Hold on. Yeah, so we see the death cross happening right there. We can definitely just start falling today for Ethereum now I'm looking at it. Let me just go see what else we got here. Yeah. Let me check out the weekly here. 3 days left, yeah. The breakdown there. Something I'm missing from back over here. No, nothing I'm missing over here. This is just going to be me playing around for a little bit. This does not make any difference to what you guys should be thinking of. No. The wrong one. Has this been good at all? Okay. Hold on. I literally just want to see this one thing, and it's becoming a pain. There we go, and let's drag this down here. Support, though, is a bit of resistance, some resistance, support. Daily. So on the daily, it's less decisive. I mean, you see a little bit of support here, some support here. I guess it does work out a little bit here. We're already kind of consolidating here, so Ethereum can really come back down to $2,000 or so, 1,900. Yeah. Plus we have the death cross. Remember what I talked about hindsight. Yeah, so be careful with it, guys. You could definitely see crypto taking another leg down here over the next few days. Right now, at least it looks like it wants to take a little bit of a breather. How much of a breather? And what you see, this wall right here is literally just the 20 on the 5-minute chart. Give me. Let's see. Hey, income from apps. Any technical indications that Bitcoin can go as low as 20,000-ish that differ from May last year? Because people did say it can go to 20K in 2021 too. Try and think. The main one here is the death cross that's going to occur between the 20-week moving average and the 50-week moving average. All right. Let me just pull it up here for you. I need to pull up the other Bitcoin chart though, not the Binance one. Goes more historical. There you go. Or the Coinbase one. So back here, right? Last year when we had the nice run and everything was really good, we never actually had the crossover. We never had the death cross. We're about to have it in the next couple weeks. All right, we're going to see the 20 come down. What's happened the last couple times the 20 came down below the 50, right? Just kind of going off of history here. And history does not always repeat itself, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. First one was right here. Pretty sizable drop where we came into contact with the 200 weekly moving average. Another one happened here. Again, a little bit later on, came into contact with the 20 weekly moving average. If we do this now and we come back into contact with the 200 weekly moving average, that weekly average is right around here, about $20,000. Right. So that's the first one. The second one here is we're also in a massive double top play. Back over here, before we had all this information, all you really could see is this coming along, right? Maybe something like this right there. And last year, nobody really should have said we had an opportunity to go back down to 20,000 until we started breaking down below the 50 week moving average. I would say, but basically, if you look at this right now, I'll just stick to the double top. Top one, top two, nice, perfect. We made a lot of money on those rallies. Coming back down here to the neckline. If that neckline is confirmed and we end up breaking down below it, the pattern completes, we're going to have a strong move down, right? You can see this as being a lot of people's different stop losses. Remember, over the past, over the past 5 or 6 months, I've given you guys about 3 to 4 major stop losses. The first one, again, this is a weekly chart, so just be aware of that. The first one was this basic one right here, breakdown, right? First stop loss. Second stop loss was a Ganfan line that looks something like this. Right here. Right? Second stop loss. Third stop loss was support right here at this neckline for the head and shoulders play that we had. Shoulder, head and shoulders. And let me see if I can find that back up here. Shoulder, head and shoulders. See the neckline right there, Sell, that's your last stop loss. That's where you open up a short. Worked out fine. That was the second one. And this third one here is going to be for the double top that we're looking at. If I can go back over here. Where we have top two, right? Then coming down, and it might come rebound a little bit later, but there's that next neckline. right? So there, there's a better opportunity. I wouldn't start getting serious about it, I guess you could say, until we actually see that death cross occur with the 20 crossing down below the 50. However slim the chance may be, we still have an opportunity to stay above for that not to happen. But it would require Bitcoin getting a massive boost here in the next week and a half or something similar to that. Okay, maybe even 3 weeks. Maybe even 3 weeks. But yeah, so that's kind of the difference between this year and last year. Really focus on those moving averages. And you can see there's a bearish pattern within a bearish pattern at the moment. I wish we had something more bullish, But right now, this is the pattern that we're stuck with. And if I see it, I guarantee that an algorithm sees it, or I guarantee that a whale that pays people to look at this type of stuff, he can see it. Or people on Wall Street, they can see this pattern, right? This is something they're taught like on day one of trading, just basic patterns. And everybody's like, those people probably have lots of shorts. And because you have this bearish pattern, you do have a lot of people that have open short positions. And they are more than happy with just kind of sitting on those short positions until we at least come back down to $28,800 level. And they'll probably take some profits there. We may have a short-term bounce or something like that. But then they're going to reevaluate and say, hey, I want to short again, or do I want to long, or whatever. They'll have a decision to make. But until that really happens, shorts don't really feel much pain for just holding right now, especially if they bought in a while ago. So if they bought in any one of those stop loss places I gave you, or just major levels of support, if you will, if they did support number one, they'd be up 36% right now, right, on that short. And if you think about it like this, they probably have a 5x position, 10x position, 20x, who knows what their leverage was, but if they have a 10x leverage, they're up 360% right now. On the second one here with the Ganfan line that broke through right here, they're up about 23%. If you did at the neckline here, you're up about 9%. Let's say 8%. And then pretty soon here, if it does fall down below this neckline here, you're going to see them try to hold it for that extra 30% profit right there for the shorts, right? So I would say that's kind of my reasoning for why it's more likely that we come down this year rather than last year, if that makes sense. Hey, Keegan Todd, happy to see you back, man. 4 hours looks pretty kind of bullish to me. Looking at Bitcoin, let me see. Yeah, it's not that bad. Yeah, remember we just talked about this a few minutes ago. What I want to see happen with Bitcoin before we take another leg down here. The Federal Reserve really messed us up today. I wanted to see us try to tap onto the 20-day moving average. I thought we had the potential to do that. Remember, I told you guys I thought my price target for this was anywhere between $38,000 and $40,000, and if we got lucky, we can get up to $43,000. Now, did we even get to $38,000? Yeah, we did. We almost got to $39,000 today, but I was hoping for a little bit more out of Bitcoin. But again, we still have a while before we run into any of these trend lines here. So again, we can easily just consolidate here for a while and then try to break out. Most likely want it to come down here, but you never know, right? But right now, again, we're in no man's land. I'm not taking a position in no man's land. I try to buy at my support levels, or at least when stuff calms down, right? Yeah, I'd be iffy right now. And there's that little reversal. Small, but it's there. Hey, no worries, George. Happy to help you out. And hey, no worries, Income. Perfect explanation. Thank you. Yeah, no worries, guys. I try to give you guys a pretty decent explanation of what's going on. I pride myself on not being too hyper or too out there. I probably will get more hyper as I get along this, but I won't. The quality of my content won't change, if that makes sense. Basically, I'm just going to be more energetic while I talk. I guess that's a better way to put it. But yeah, so that's one of my goals here pretty soon. But not to change the what I say, just the way in which I say it. Let's see. Hey Ryan, which energy stocks look good today? I mean, I've only been looking at Exxon for the most part. There was an oil and gas stock that I peeked at today that went to all-time highs. Let me pick this up here. I was going through my scanners after the market closed, and I was just looking. Did anything reach a new high today? One stock reached a new high today that was more bullish because it has to be above the 20, the 50, and the 52. Um, but here, chart oil and gas. It's close to breaking out here. If you wanted to take a nibble of it, next tier oil field solutions. It's only at $6, but I think it had yeah, it's optional and shortable. So I was thinking maybe holding it for a month and seeing what happens, especially if the gas prices continue to rally here. Um, Anything else here? No, I don't think there was any crazy news. No, I didn't see much information here. I did not look at the bottom though. I didn't see much selling going on there. No, not much selling. But yeah, if you wanted to check out next, that could be something for you, Ryan. Here, I didn't get a chance to do technical analysis on it, so you can kind of see this long consolidation period it's been on, right? But it's trying to get back up to the levels up here of about $12 or so. You have a support, or excuse me, you have resistance up here. You have resistance right there. You go. You had some resistance up here. There we go. Jeez. That one's not too important though. What I wanted to put down here was actually a trend line. This magnet is really nice sometimes, but it's also really bad if I'm trying to do it from a zoomed in perspective. Now, what's it look like if I put this here? Nope, not exactly. There you go. So close to breaking out. Close to breaking out. Right here. I guess it's not all time highs. So what scanner did I use? I might have been doing new highs. Not no. Why was that showing up on that scanner? Okay, maybe Finviz didn't have all the information there. But yeah, this is close to having a breakout. If you wanted to buy this, maybe try to wait until it gets to six. It closes above this, what looks like it's about to. Somewhere around $6.20. Ride it up to $7. You can make a pretty decent profit off of it. That profit would be something like 18% if you could manage to kind of ride it up here. I don't know about buying options because I haven't actually looked at the liquidity of the market. Maybe it's maybe the spreads are too wide or something like that. But it would be definitely worth it to take a little peek at it and see if you can get something out of it. But as far as the good old oil stuff here, let me see. I think you actually said energy plays in particular. Did you say energy plays? Ryan energy. Yes. Let me go over here. Let me go to groups, and we can go over here to energy. There's only 280. I just want to get something above a mid. Let's go something United States to make it a little bit easier on ourselves. I just want it to be optionable and shortable. Down to 77. Do I need anything else here? Average volume over 500K. Want some liquidity? 67. That's fine. AM's at support. No, no, in the middle of no man's land. CDEV could be interesting. BKR could be interesting. CLR could be interesting here as well. No, no. Support here. CNX too cheap. Do this very fast. I want it to be over $50 personally. There we go. Get to 20. Chesapeake Energy. That one's doing better. Let's see. See, no, no. CLR. Then we talked about that one. CVX already broke out. Chevron. Yeah. I think here. Dana could be a watch list for breakdown. Fang, that's too aggressive for me. HES, too aggressive. Got to slam back down actually today. No, 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 no. Not much. Not much for me right now. Those first couple of plays that were cheaper than $50, those might be your best bets though. Hey Neil, do you think we can come up to 17 cents soon for Doge? You know, if it happens, it'll happen over the next 3, 4 days or so. But after that, if we take that extra leg down, Most likely not for a while here. Yeah, no worries, Ryan. Happy to help you out. Did you see McDonald's talked about Doge the other day? I heard about it. I thought it was something about Elon, but I did not know they actually talked about it. So I should actually do some research on that. If McDonald's accepted Doge, that'd be fantastic for the price. That might even save the whole crypto market from going down. Um, but I could see a lot of money flowing into Dogecoin if that was the case. I could definitely see that. Maybe with a combined announcement that Doge is going to burn half of its coins or something ludicrous like that. Let's see. Let's see. Hey, he goes. I have BKR and A Rock on my list. Chesapeake was a double top last night. Yeah, what do you call it? I've had Chesapeake for a long time here. I bought Chesapeake, I think, when I was in college. One of my friends, uh, one of my friends that lives in Philly, his dad told him to buy Chesapeake Energy, and so he told me to buy Chesapeake Energy, and I bought it a long time ago, and I've just been holding it ever since. It's had some crazy waves, though. Let me go back over here to FinViz. How do I do this? CHK. Let's pull it up here. So if we go back to the weekly, no, this isn't Chess. Is this Chesapeake? I feel like I feel like Chesapeake has been around longer than this. Or am I missing? Am I talking about a different corporation here? Because I used to remember Chesapeake was a lot cheaper. I could be wrong about the actual stock. I thought Chesapeake was much older of a play than this. I'm probably confusing with something else. Don't worry about it though. Yeah, that explodes though. All right, but yeah, I could have swore it was Chesapeake though. That's my bad memory at work. There you go. What's right here? Hey, Doodle, happy to see you back, man. And hey, Elmer, that was like $50 then. Yeah, I mean, it was. It's probably a different energy company here. If I go to Finviz, I can probably find it. If I go to groups, energy, 280. Let me go by price. It's not worth finding out. But yeah, I don't know what stock it is. One of those types of things. There we are. I was to go long on SLB and missed it. Had to work. Trust me, work gets in the way of a lot of good trades. Work will get in the way of a lot of good trades. Oh, we're coming back down for a little bit of a. I mean, this could be a buying opportunity here as long as we're not going back down below the 20 moving average. Could be a nice little dip before I move up to test out the 20. But I don't know if we have any moving averages above that. Let's see. AMD. Let's see. AMD. I think it'd be worth taking a nibble tomorrow if it opens up below the 200. And then maybe you want to finish off the trade and open up a double down on the position if it does close 10 minutes to go in the trading day and you can definitely tell it's going to close down below the 200. I would definitely think about opening a position right there, and I would have a price target for about $100 or so. So you might make anywhere from $9 a share to $10 a share, maybe what $5 to $9 per share if you're doing puts. So you can make some good money off of that. I'd really just how cautious I can be. Sometimes it hurts me as far as profits. I'd really want to make sure that it's closing down below the 200. But by the way the market looks right now, it can definitely happen, especially with the futures. But my thing is, how the last couple of days we've been kind of been opening low, then kind of triggering higher and higher as the day goes on. That's my only concern about what we've been seeing. But yes, I think it'd be a good play here. Uh, yeah, the next major level of support I see is all the way back down from about $100 or so, and that was the resistance we had back in I don't know, like last year. So yeah, that seems like a really good play, Ghost. I'd probably buy calls for next Friday or the puts for the next Friday or the Friday after that with the strike price of anywhere between $100 to $105, and I think that'd be fine. This thing has come down pretty hard though too, so if you want to get a little bit more aggressive and go 95, it's a little bit cheaper. That might be a possibility as well. Look at X stock 25 calls. Steel, yeah. Let's see. This one looks okay. Hold on. Still hasn't reached a good level of support to be for me to be entering into it at the moment. Hmm. Maybe you could look at buying a call if it gets back down to $16 or so. I don't usually play around with stocks this cheap though. Let me see what I can find out. Any other old support levels? There's another level of support right up. The heck was that? There's another level of support up here at about $17. This will get a little bit tricky here. Yeah. Hmm. I would probably only buy shares of this, not really options because it is so cheap. But if you wanted to buy options on this, I'd probably look for $15 strike price calls that expire in like 2 to 3 weeks and see where it goes. But as soon as I make a decent amount of money off of this, I'd be out of it. I wouldn't be holding this for an extended period of time, um, just because it does have a lot of support levels there to help it out. Yeah, $15 strike price if you wanted to buy some puts. If you're looking at calls, I would wait for it to come back down here to about $16, and then I'd be looking to buy calls for a bounce. But it did have a death cross a while ago. Now it's coming down, so let's see what happens from there. But uh, it's kind of in no man's land right now, so I'm not really excited about it. I'd most likely put this on the watch list and wait for it to hit that $16 range for me before I would hit it. Hey, hello, hello, boy. Let's see, and you got 25 calls. Then you have to be hoping for a nice bounce there over the next few days. Hopefully, with the market being down, it shouldn't. Hopefully, it doesn't bring down steel too much. Maybe steel can kind of feel a little bit better, but be careful with those calls. Uh, I got an Nvidia early Monday and profits not selling until 2-4. There you go. I expect Nvidia at 300. Let's see what's right there. Yeah, Nvidia has been very volatile, very very volatile. Let's see. I am running X calls 2024. Oh yeah, you're fine. You have a long time. I think you should be fine as long as it really just doesn't go steady. But I think over time, steel should get more and more valuable here, especially with all the money they're pumping into the infrastructure right now. Hey, and come from apps. Next major resistance level for Bitcoin. So that's gonna be a bit more tricky because it's not really gonna just be a straight level of resistance. So if you're looking for like an actual horizontal line here, it's gonna be that former neckline that we had, right around here, about $40,000. Okay, and that kind of goes into back contact of the 20. I would say those are more. This is gonna be much more aggressive than this resistance level right here. But yeah, next level of resistance is gonna be about $40,000. 30, like a few $100 below, but $40,000. My Lucid puts are doing okay. I think my Tesla put should start making money tomorrow. Yeah. Some analyst says it's overvalued. It should be at $700 or so. Yeah, I mean, I bought some Tesla puts. I got some really cheap ones because I hate paying money for Tesla. Because their calls and puts are so expensive compared to everything else, which is fine. But I'm kind of a cheap guy sometimes. What put did I buy? Well, it's up. It's up 30% already. 4th of February, $500 put. So it's way out of the money. So I'm pretty much holding it for tomorrow. It was an earnings play though. It didn't really didn't have much to do with the technicals. If I wanted to hold it for multiple days, I probably would have gone up to like a $700 or $600 play. But I was being cheap. Let me see. There we go. Hitting 39K, then dump into the weekend. Probably a dump into the weekend. I don't know if we're gonna get back up to 39K. I'm hoping around. Well, my estimate is probably anywhere from 38,000 again back up to $40,000. So it's definitely a possibility. I'm waiting to see if we're going to have an opportunity to get back up there because I don't know if that Federal Reserve announcement really messed up our chances of getting back up there because now we have a whole weird looking candle bar up there. It's okay to be cheap. I still go to the Dollar Tree store. I haven't been to the dollar store in forever, and I think it's just because when I go to a dollar store, the workers all feel really depressed, and then they make me feel depressed, and I don't like that because I always feel really bad for them because they always look like they're overworked at the dollar store, and I feel like really bad for it. And I feel like they have the highest turnover jobs ever. Uh, Tesla options are ridiculous. Or only ever owned a few. Yeah, that can be very very crazy. I mean, right now my Tesla puts it in cost much money, but see, I did more of a I don't even know what you want to call it. My friend said it was advanced, but it's more of just a perception of how the markets work. So what I did is I bought one YOLO call on Tesla, and I bought like I don't know 5, 10 YOLO puts on them, right? So my point is, if Tesla went up, I'd make a little bit of money. If Tesla went down a lot, I'd make a little bit of money as well. But what I did is I bought them kind of further out of the money, but still within buying range for somebody that has some capital to invest. And so what happened as the end of the day occurred and the Federal Reserve meeting was kind of having its impact on the market. Well, you saw a lot of people buying calls and puts both. So right now, technically, my calls are up and my puts are up. My calls should go down tomorrow, but technically they're both still up like 30-40% each because remember, options markets are markets within themselves. So if they're getting bid up and bid up and bid up and bid up, even if the price isn't doing much, even going the other way, they're getting bid up and they're going up in value because people want them. And people, you keep on raising the ask, people keep on buying, buying, buying. And as long as there's a market there within the actual options market, you can be making a profit. It's a pretty weird way that options work. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's a fun way to do it. There you go. I'm hoping end of year Tesla will split. I don't know if they want to do another split. Let's see what happens throughout this correction here for the market. Who knows how long this correction may last? It may last a couple weeks. It may last a couple months. It may last more than a couple months here, especially if inflation does not get under control. Remember, by the timetable they set. I mean, rates are going to change up. There's a little bit of stuff here. Excuse me, but they might not start like the actual process, like the actual the grunt work of tapering down. That really might not start until June, July time. And so when that actually starts happening and the market starts like selling stuff, like actual selling what's on their sheet, who knows how the market is going to react to that, right? And they said they want to be very transparent about how everything's going to work. So if they're very transparent, everybody's going to know, hey, they're selling all this separate stuff. We better get out now and just wait for the selling to be over. Who wants to buy all that, right? Let's see. Hey, one minute. Oh, Doge. Oh, we're just looking at the second chart for Bitcoin right here. I still have the other Doge stream up though. That Doge stream up is still up 24/7. Doge really just isn't doing anything right now. Still coming down, looking for an opportunity to break out. Most likely not going to break out here, and it's just kind of in this large wedge right here. Kind of being very patient with it. But the next level of support really for Dogecoin is around like 9 cents or so. So I think if Bitcoin really does take that level down to like 30,000, 25,000, wherever it wants to go down to, you'll see Dogecoin go back down to 8 cents or so, which will be pretty nasty to watch. So, hey Gus, at what point this year? No, nobody knows, my man. Nobody knows. What you'd be hoping for is probably end of quarter two, quarter three, maybe quarter four if crypto really does have an extended, a real downward move on quarter two. And then it kind of holds the drop that we're probably going to have later on this month. Um, yeah, I would say most likely quarter three, maybe back at the end of summertime, but nobody really has a good idea of when that will happen. Um, I expect as news comes out and stuff like that, that should be a little bit better. But for now, I'm not really going to be expecting much from Doge. That's why I kept on telling you guys, you guys can buy some, but I wouldn't keep on doubling down, tripling down as it continues to come down here. And who knows if we break down below the 873 support level, but I hope we don't do that because we come back down to 4 cents. Then next time we're we're back down to a penny. and that would not be a fun trip to see. All right, I'm back over here. A lot of people want to buy Tesla, but they can't. It's 1K share. Oh yeah, it's wild. Should have bought a Tesla at $4. I feel like everybody wants to buy Tesla at $4 now. Yeah. All right, everybody. I'm gonna head off now. It's been a good hour and a half. I gotta get my dog some food. He's looking at me like he's hungry, and he also needs to use the bathroom here. Um, I'll be on tomorrow at 6 p.m. again Pacific time. You guys be careful of this market. Don't feel like you have to trade all too much. I'm just doing a little bit of day trading every now and again. We could definitely have one more pop back up to $40,000, but if we get up there, there's going to be a lot of major levels of resistance. So just be careful that you're not fooled to buying up at those levels and saying, "Hey, I want to buy," and all of a sudden the next day you wake up and it's down, like Bitcoin's down like an extra 2-3% or something like that. Okay, but what do you call? But have a good day, everybody. Relax. I know this is not the market we want to see, but it was a lot of fun to have in it. Just take your time, and if you guys want to, I'd recommend practicing paper trading. Like, practice day trading with fake money, and try your best to be good at it. Record how you do, and if you do well, find out what you did best at and what you did the worst at, and stop doing what you're doing the worst at, and just stick to what you're doing good at. It'll help you out a lot more. And if you want to, you can also try to do a better job of what you weren't good at. But if you want to use what you've learned there to kind of help you when you're trading real money, that's a good strategy to have. All right, everybody, guys. See you later, and I'm gonna go get Loki some a little bit of lamb nuggets. Thanks.